I'm a baller, high roller, baby.
How y'all doing? And man, you're hanging out with Mr. C. Hanging out with Mr. C. So today, man, this is my first video. I'm trying to get my YouTube thing cracking. So here it is. You gotta start somewhere, right? I reckon I'll get my lingo together and all that together as time goes. But today, hanging out with Mr. C. And today, you know what? We in the backyard, man. I'm hanging out with the birds, and I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about what I got going on. So I'm gonna get out the way a little bit so y'all can see my setup. And hey man, while y'all hanging out right now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna step away real quick. And so what I come out here to do today is just to make sure that the birds have water, right? I'm here in Lancaster, California, and it's very imperative out here during the summertime that your birds stay with fresh water, okay? It's very important, okay? They can go a couple days without food, but water, they can't go not one day without the water, all right? So you always want to make sure that first thing in the morning you come out, preferably you should do it before the sun come up, okay? I'm at home, I'm working on the clock, so I don't always get a chance to get up and get out here before the sun come up. But it is what it is. I'm, like anything else, I'm a work in progress, and you just make sure that you get up and get them water bowls filled before that sun come up. Or if you don't catch it in the morning, just come on outside throughout the day and check it out so that your birds don't suffer in the meantime. So what I'm getting ready to do right now is I'm finna walk over here. I'm going to check each cage. Right now, as you can see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 big cages, right? And 3 are full of birds. One of them is a brand new one. As you can see, you probably can't see in the camera view right in the angle right here. I got another cage off to the left over there. That's a brand new cage. Ain't no birds in it yet, so you know what? It really ain't that big of a deal. Let's see if I can adjust my camera some. I'm gonna pull this thing back. I'm trying to keep my phone out of the sun, and then maybe you can kind of see. So here's what I'll do. I'll just pan across over there, and right there, boom, you can see it. All right. So it is what it is, but like I said, it's totally empty right now, so it's not that big of a deal. All right. So let me go ahead and do my thing. In the meantime, I'll be back. All right. I'll try to project my voice from across the yard, and let's see if you can't keep up. All right. Here we go. Okay, so far this cage is doing pretty well. I took care of it last night while I was out here messing with the birds, and so the water bowls are pretty full. I'm gonna go ahead and check this one. Matter of fact, that one there is where I keep all my flyers. I'm in training right now. And let me go back and let me explain a little bit about who I am and how I got started. Okay, then I'll jump back on the task of feeding these birds. Watering these birds. Okay, so again, Mr. C, right? I've been in the game maybe about 3 years now. So I got 3 seasons under my belt of dealing with these Birmingham roller pigeons. It's been a long ride, right? I've come a long way. I've learned a lot. And just in the 3 years, dude, it's pretty amazing all of what happens and what transpires. So in the beginning, first of all, you got to figure out how to keep the birds. And what I mean by keeping them is keeping them alive, keeping them healthy, keeping them safe, right? Once you get over that and you can get past the diseases and your birds having worms and all that stuff, you get them in a clean environment. You keep the cages clean, you keep the water clean, you keep the feed clean. That's pretty much half the battle right there, right? Just being able to feed them, okay, feeding them, keeping them healthy, and keeping them happy, right? Keeping them, and happy is really neither here nor there, because keeping something caged up, okay, that's for another show. We ain't gonna talk about that. I had a partner in mind say, man, get that out your head. So, let's move on. And so in the meantime, and that's basically it, right? So water, feed, cleanliness, safety. Those are the main things. And from there, once you get that under control, then it's a matter of training, right? Start off with your first set of breeders, however you get your breeders, whether it's 2. I started off with 8, right? So that's 4 pairs. So within the 3 years, dude, I've went through a lot. Let me tell you. When I first got started, I met a guy named, I got a buddy named Richard Allen, right, down in Los Angeles, California. And this dude had birds all our life for the most part. Okay, when I was younger, I couldn't understand what this dude's infatuation was with birds. And so fast forward years later, he stayed in my ear. Hey man, you got them boys, you got 3 sons at the house, dude. Get them dudes involved in these birds. A lot of times when it comes to inner city youth, okay, for those of you guys that know about gentrification, you know about different things, you know about the funding being pulled out of our communities and stuff like that. And so yes, sometimes, dude, these birds are a grounding point. They will keep the kids interested in something other than wanting to run the streets. And that's a beautiful thing, right? And so that's more of what I was trying to do. Not that my son was looking to be a gang member or anything like that, but I can see, you know, his teenager getting to that point where he want to start hanging out and doing different things. And it was my attempt to try to keep him grounded. Did it work? Nah, it didn't. We got some great memories out of it though, right? Very first cage that I built before I even had any birds is the biggest one right here that you can see in the middle. I built that when I followed some plans online, and I built that prior to even getting any birds. So faith, right, without works is dead. So I had the faith, right, knew that eventually it would come along, and you just gotta believe. And so I did that. But anyway, we got a bunch of good memories. I think I even got a video or something on my page where some old video where he was actually interviewing me because I was trying to get my son into doing journalism and stuff like that. So it was great, you know, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It came to fruition. He was actually still around to see me put birds in, and then that's pretty much it. Like I said, as years went by, he graduated high school and decided to fly the coop. And hey, more power to him. I love my son, I talk to him regularly. All right. So with that being said, my first bird show, Richard invited me to Lake LA to a dude named Patrick Tate. Hey Pat, man, if you come across this video, I hope that you ain't upset with me throwing your name out there. But I'm just trying to keep it real, you know what I mean, for my chronicling my life and what I got going on. And so Patrick Tate took me under his wing, man, you know what I mean? And not necessarily showed me much, but he gave me a lot of advice as far as medication and things like that. He actually came to my house and helped me pair my birds up for the first time after I got my first set of birds. Now I'm jumping ahead, but let me come back. So I went to a bird show, man. It was awesome, right? Coming to this backyard, man, there was a lot of brothers, man, that I probably would not deal with if I seen these brothers in the regular streets. But you know what the beauty thing was? Is having no bias. Man, Asians, black, Mexicans, white boys, you understand what I'm saying? All together, dude. And it was pretty harmonious. True, I got my own thoughts about life and where we should be and different things going on, but that's a whole other topic. Sticking with these birds, it was just a beautiful thing for me to see all these people in the same backyard, man, actually and having a good time with some birds. These birds are amazing, right? Some people call them flying rats. I used to think the same thing until I got involved, right? So forgive me, guys, it's a little hot out here where I'm at, but it is what it is. We're gonna get through this video. And so had a good time at that show, had a good time, ended up walking away with nothing, right? But a flyer that invited me to another bird show up in Bakersfield. Now that bird show was done by a group of some dudes called the Kern County Rotor Club, right? So it's still there's a cage to my right, it'll be to your left, and it actually has the plaque down there, 2017. That's when I got started. That was the first cage that I won, and it came with 10 birds. Now, as being savvy as I am, I auctioned for 7 birds while I was there, just having fun with my kids, and getting to know some of the people that were part of the Kern County Rotor Club. Awesome group of guys. Met some dudes from Oakland. There's a black flying club out in Oakland, and dude, we had a great time. They had food. They had different things popping, and so man, that was the first thing that I'd ever won, bro. I never won nothing in the raffle. So that's the first thing I won. It came with 10 birds. So I go home with 17 birds, right? Boom. Guess what? I ain't had no way to get the cage home from Bakersfield back to back to Palmdale at the time. There's a dude named Bobby Bush that belonged to that club. I'm not sure if he's still a member, but he's an awesome guy. The first guy that befriended me when I showed up to this bird show. Came, put his arm around me. I was honest enough to tell the guy, hey man, I'm totally green, dude. I'm new to this thing, and I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. Boom, come on with me, man. Showed me around the club, introduced me to the judges, because they had some flying competitions, some other things. So man, everybody was excited for me. So, back to what I said, I couldn't get the birdcage home. So, guess what? A week later, I get a call from Bobby Bush. Hey man, where you at? Give me your address. I'm on the freeway already with your cage in the back of my truck. Just give me $20 when I get there. I'm thinking, from Bakersfield to Palmdale? My God. Bro, I got family members that I can't depend on like that, right? Total strangers. And guess what? I've heard God is good. God will put the people in place that you need to help you at a time. So don't get hung up on having family that won't look out for you, okay? They won't let you borrow their stuff. Don't worry about that. Good creator will always make a way. And that's the beautiful thing, and that's what I stand on. So guess what, man? Hour and a half go by, ding dong. Bobby Bush is at my front door. I gave him $40 just because that's who I am. 20 didn't seem like enough of me coming from Bakersfield to the Antelope Valley, right? Okay, so Bobby came in my yard, saw that I built the cage, saw that I was excited about it, right? Dude invites me to his house 2 weeks later and gives me 20 birds. Y'all hear me? 20 birds. Now, I got respect for this dude because this dude is like the national judge for the Kern County side of Los Angeles or California, really, because I guess after Kern County, it ain't LA County no more. So for that region of the world, up in Kern County, he was a national judge. Well, down here where I'm at, a guy named Patrick Tate is the other judge. Remember, that was the first show that I went to, right? Boom. So 2 weeks later go by. So anyway, so Bobby helped me get the cage, put the cage up. He gave me some advice about my cage because my cage used to be really closed up. So Bobby tells me, hey man, open up that cage, man, let them birds see out so that they can see and know what's going on. You got some guys that like to keep their birds in the dark, but don't necessarily mean that that's the best way to do it. All right, so I also want y'all to forgive me because I think the video's a little dark. It's sunny outside. It's hard for me to catch a good view, but needless to say, you know who I am, and it is what it is, all right? So, let's go. Put the cages together, I follow Bobby's advice, open up my cage, and boom, I'm rocking and rolling, right? Doing my thing. Bobby's birds, I get Bobby's birds 2 weeks later, add them to my cage, and let me tell you what began to happen, okay? So, 2 weeks, I go online, figure out how to train my birds. I follow this guy's information online, along with my man Richard Allen. You know, he again. Let me go back to Richard Allen. He's my man from childhood. I really respect his opinion when it comes to these birds. All right, so I get my birds up in the air within a week. Some flying, some ain't. It is what it is. You know, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was too anxious at the time. You know, and so I got rid of some of my birds, simply not flying. I didn't know, man, that when birds are new, sometimes you gotta let them hit the ground. Let them get familiar with their settings. And as you train, it's all in the trainer. It ain't got nothing to do with the bird. If you, okay, let me back up. Because that's twofold. If your birds have the proper personalities, there are personality traits, and some birds are hard-headed. But you will learn all this as time comes. So whoever, man, if there's anybody new